Matrix of Mind Reality. Enoch Dan, creator of Mind Reality. The deeper the knowledge, the more powerful the knowledge. The more powerful your knowledge, the easier it is to achieve success, because deep, powerful knowledge is the key to inspired thinking and finding intelligent solutions to problems. This book answers a great many questions that you have always been curious about, such as, what is the matrix of reality and what gives us power over it? How does enlightenment and spiritual knowledge enable you to get everything you ever wanted? Why purchasing spiritual knowledge will tremendously accelerate your progress in life. And plenty more incredible knowledge inside. The very reason why I created this free ebook with some of my articles is to give a preview of the immense quality and quantity information on Mind Reality. What you get from this ebook is only the tip of the iceberg. The amount of super high quality information found in Mind Reality is more than enough to fill many books, not of the ordinary standard, but the legendary kind. If there was just one membership site in the world you should join, this would be it. Best regards. Enoch Dan, creator of Mind Reality. First action step to unlimited abundance: hold the thought of absolute abundance and that feeling of gratitude while you give this book to one person. Go ahead, it's an ebook. All you have to do is email it, print it out, make copies or whatever you have to do, just do it. There is not really much physical labor involved. It doesn't matter who you give it to. Just give it away to someone, anyone, do it now. Please take this simple step. Take this small step and give this book to someone right now. Act on faith and on trust, while you hold on to the thought and feeling of complete abundance and gratitude. Most likely someone gave you this book and they took action. Take the first step to living a richer, more prosperous, healthier and fuller life. The more people you give this book to now, the better it is for you. Did you do it? Did you take the action that will change your life right now? If you did, then I would like to congratulate you on becoming wealthier. You have taken the first step, and you have continued the spread of true wealth. You have made the commitment, the seal of the covenant that will ensure you are well on your way to being wealthy or are already wealthy. Mental matrix of reality. World is simulation. Some people think that the physical universe is different from the mental planes of reality. But the physical universe is really not as physical as it seems. In fact, it is just another layer of the mental universe. Time and space does not exist in the physical universe only, it also does exist on the other planes of reality. Except it is experienced differently on those planes. The entire universe is a hologram. The world is simply a simulation, like a computer program. All levels of reality are part of that same program. Everything physical is only a concept in the mind of God. As He imagines it to be, we experience it to be. Reality is a mental construct. The rules of physics are just there to govern how the physical universe operates. The universal mind which governs the laws of the physical universe only allows them to be superseded when it permits. We are living in the matrix. This is not a computer-generated but a mind-generated world. It is generated by the universal mind, which is partly the mind of God and partly the collective consciousness of the people alive. Do our five senses really operate as energy receptors, carry energy in the form of electrical impulses along nerves to the brain in order to be processed by the mind as information? Are we really not able to see the world around us when the electrical impulses are cut off? Does our life support system really operate as blood carrying oxygen from the air that we breathe to our body cells in order to nourish and repair them? Are we really not able to process energy without the means of our blood? While looking at your feet, stomp on the ground. You will notice that your visual perception of your foot hitting the floor matches your sensation of touching it. This would be fine except for one thing: the speed of light is vastly faster than the conduction times and synaptic delays through the long nerves and spinal cord from your feet. As a result, you should be seeing the event before you feel it, and the delay should be noticeable. Scientists can study how the physical system operates in order to work with it. We have to follow the rules of a system when we are in it, in order to function in it. But the physical system is only a simulation to provide logic and order to how reality operates on the physical level. The simulation is only a mask over how true reality operates. We do not actually see with electrical impulses being sent from our eyes to our brains through the channel of nerves. We sense energy directly with our mind. We do not actually live with oxygen flooding our cells through the use of blood. We absorb energy directly from the universal field of energy. We perceive everything as energy directly with consciousness. When we think as conscious mind. When a thought becomes substantiated, it substantiates in the subconscious mind. But what is man's subconscious mind? It is his mental field or frequency in universal subjectivity. There is no such thing as your subjective mind and my subjective mind. Meaning two, for this would be duality. All mind is one mind. But there is such a thing as the subconscious state of your thought and of my thought in mind. When we think through a universal creative medium, a receptive and plastic substance which surrounds us on all sides, which permeates us and flows through us. When we think through and into the one common mind producing points of mental activity within it. We exist as the universal mind differentiated into individual minds. We think as universal conscious mind through the universal subconscious medium. As each person thinks, he is building around himself a mental atmosphere. Nothing can enter unless he allows it to, through the avenues of his own thought, whether conscious or unconscious. There is no other place that we could think, since mind is omnipresent. There is no out there. Everything exists as projections in the external world from within ourselves. Even the experience of internal to external projection itself is an experience in our mind. It is a projection of consciousness within consciousness. There really is no external or internal, for everything is at one place where mind is. Mind is everywhere yet nowhere. Mind is nowhere but here, now. Everything is created by consciousness and nothing is outside of consciousness. Our heart is our subconscious mind. The universal field of subjectivity is the key to understanding what it means when we say someone is always with us because that person is in our heart. We might see, hear and touch the person, but that is just a means of experiencing each other through physical form. Of course, spirit must manifest into form in order to express itself. But once we experienced each other physically, we know that we are always connected to each other, no matter where we are. There is no separation. The person exists in universal subconscious which is in our heart. That person is in us literally. Metaphysics of time, space and things. Time simply measures change. Beyond that simple function, time is non-existent. There is really only the now. Time is a sequence of events in a unitary whole. Time is not a thing of itself, it is simply a measure of experience in eternity. Time does not contradict eternity, but allows it to become expressed in terms of definite experience. Time is necessary since it allows experience to take place within the one, but time is never a thing of itself. It is really impossible to measure time. For yesterday is gone and tomorrow has not come. And today is rapidly slipping into the past. If we were to attempt to put a finger on any period of time, it would be gone before we could point to it. But, elusive as time is, it is still necessary to experience. Space, like time, is not a thing of itself, but is only the outline of form. It is a relative distance within the absolute. Space is also necessary to the expression of spirit, for without it no definite form could be produced. We must not be confused over the ideas of time and space, as they are not things of themselves. They are entirely relative, but nonetheless necessary. Things are mean forms in time and space. Things are always results and never make themselves, they are the objectifications of spirit. Things are necessary to the manifestation of spirit. They are the result of the self-knowingness of the Word of God. Things vary in size and shape, in time and duration, from the planet to the peanut, from a moment to an eternity. It is necessary that spirit should manifest in some kind of form in order that it may come into self-expression through self-realization. The world is waking up to the fact that things are not at all what they appear to be, that matter and form are but the one substance appearing and disappearing, and that form is simply used to express something which is formless, self-conscious life. Form in the astral world is not as definite as form in the physical world. But the physical world is not as definite as it seems because it is governed by true reality, and true reality is highly fluid. Physical reality and mental reality and different levels of the same program, running with a different set of parameters. The difference between the physical world and the astral world is that of time. Change happens slower on the physical plane because energy moves at a slower rate on their plane, but on the astral plane, things can happen very quickly. There is only one place that is far more definite than physical reality. It is a place where you really can't change the conditions in it with your mind. Its vibrations are the lower and denser than Earth. That place is hell. Beings that exist there will forever be tormented with fire in anguish, pain and misery. It is where things are truly hopeless and there is nothing you can do about it. Hell is the condition of having no alternatives. Both heaven and hell are real places, but while on Earth, your experience can either be a heaven or hell depending on whether you live in higher consciousness where anything is possible and change can happen fast, or hell consciousness where things are hopeless and impossible. The physical plane is where the challenge is. It is a loss to give up living in the physical world and to enter the astral world just because one is in despair of the difficulties in manifesting desires on that plane. It is precisely for that reason that we are truly able to develop and test our powers of mind in order to fulfill our seven realization as spirit beings. The purpose of physicality is to lock different beings into common dimensional arenas of interaction, so they can evolve via that interaction. Gaining the ability to be in control of reality at the physical level is gaining the ability to be in control of our own minds to the fullest degree. Ruling and reigning over reality is expressing who we are as sons and daughters of God, created in the true spiritual image of God. If you have greatly benefited from this article, then join as a member of Mind Reality now to access lots of the most life-changing information on planet Earth. This will be the best decision you will ever make in your life. Wherever you are is the center of the universe. The entire universe is a projection of consciousness. We experience the universe as a projection through us because each of us is a center of consciousness. Therefore we are all centers of the universe. There really is no here or there because everything is at one point where consciousness is. We all do not exist in different places but are all present at one point. The reality of here and there is all created and experienced within the singularity of consciousness itself. Where you are is the center of the universe. Consciousness is the dimensionless program that simulates dimensions. It is the omnipresent dot that creates the illusion of everywhere when there is nowhere but here and now. There is only one true place consciousness exists in and that is here. There is only one true time where consciousness exists in and that is now. Everything else that is experienced as there and then is only a simulation that is experienced from here and now. When you think of a time and place, you instantly travel there mentally. In fact, you do not really travel at all. The world around you shifts as your external environment and the things in it changes into the new one that you think of. It is because it is all a simulation. You never really move at all, but it is everything else that moves. The center of anything never moves and therefore the whole world revolves around you. The physical world itself is also a simulation of consciousness. It is a simulation that you are walking and traveling from one place to another or moving along through time. When you take a plane to another country which you last visited 10 years ago, your change in experience is really a change in the simulation of reality. The simulated image of the city has changed as some buildings have been removed and new ones have appeared. The simulated images of the people you met before has also changed as the consciousness program reflects the effects of how people are affected by time. A few white hairs, wrinkled skin, height increase or sexual endowment has appeared. We think that no one is the center of the universe because everyone cannot be the center at the same time. That is because we perceive consciousness to be separate from itself. Actually, consciousness is projected from where you are. It only exists at one place and one time, and that is where you are. If you are a tall, handsome man looking at a beautiful woman in red, you are consciousness projecting the woman in red. If you are the woman in red, then you are consciousness projecting the tall man. You are consciousness itself, and whichever point of view you are experiencing at any given point of time and place, everything else around you is a projection from you. You are more than just the particular person that you are. You are the entire universe itself. The reason why you perceive reality from a particular point of time and space, and as a particular person, is because you are consciousness individuated into a single point of view for the purpose of experiencing everything else from that point of view. Think of a computer program that runs a simulated game world where all characters are interacting with each other. It is all really just one program cycling between each character so fast that it seems as if all characters are being run simultaneously when they are actually being run one at a time. It is the activity of consciousness playing every single role in the universe that makes it seem as though three are separate programs running when it's really one program running everything in turns at infinite speed. The reason why consciousness runs at infinite speed is because it is not confined to the boundaries of time at all. Time is only a simulated concept that is created by consciousness to be experienced by consciousness. Imagine playing a particular character and filming yourself, and then reversing the film and playing a different character. Superimpose the film of the first character with the second and you'll get the effect of two characters in one film. That is how two of you exist at the same time. But consciousness doesn't really have to take turns experiencing itself from several points of view. It splits itself into many individuated versions of itself so as to experience all those points of view simultaneously. All those individuated versions are simply different parts of that one consciousness. When you shift your perspective from one point of view to another, you are shifting the center of the nine universe from one point to another. The center is everywhere yet nowhere according to how you see it. So to experience your reality as the creator of it, realize that where you are is the center of all that is occurring. This is what it means to be centered. When you think someone, something or somewhere else is the center of what's going on, you are giving your power away to the external world. Move through your world with the consciousness that you are the center of the universe, and you will find that you don't really have to shift much as things and people around you shift themselves instead. You will become a lot more at peace, stable, cool and poised as your perception of being the center aligns your experience of reality with the state of being godlike. Less and less do things move you without your permission, and more are you able to cause things around you to move instead. People will feel your strength, stability and solidness as you carry and project yourself as the center. You will become more and more of master of reality as you control how time and space move around you. If you have greatly benefited from this article, then join as a member of Mind Reality now to access lots of the most life-changing information on planet Earth. This will be the best decision you will ever make in your life. Being enlightened gets you everything in life. Enlightenment is about seeing through the illusions of life and knowing what reality really is. When you are enlightened, you can have everything you want. Because you will know the truth about what everything is, and what does it really mean to have something. It is an irony of the world that the people who seek material things and desire to have them before thinking about enlightenment, tend to attain neither, but those that acquire enlightenment first are the ones who do. The desireless attain all their desires. Being desireless is not about having no desire, but it is about having no attachment to desire. Attachment is the cause of all suffering. Suffering is burning emotional energy on the uncontrollable. The more you suffer, the more suffering you attract. Letting go of all attachments is the way to end all suffering. When you are attached, you are in a state of wanting or lacking. When you are detached, you are in a state of being desireless. Enlightenment is about knowing why detachment gets you your desire. Physical reality is an illusion created by consciousness to rediscover itself. It is an illusion that you do not have what you already want, because you already have all that you desire in spiritual reality. Physical reality is a place for you to manifest anything that you are resonating with from spiritual reality. When you are attached, you are resonating with the spiritual untruth that you do not have your desire. When you are detached, you are resonating with the spiritual truth that you already have your desire. You free yourself by being emotionally detached from choices. Many people fail to get what they want because they do not free themselves to have it. You trap yourself when you are attached to choices. You think that it has to work a particular way rather than allowing yourself to go another way. Detachment from choices is what gives you true freedom of choice. You are able to choose again in every moment and are free to make a different choice if you will. Detachment from choice is secret of flexibility. Stock market trading success comes to those who trade in an enlightened way. The masses are emotionally attached to choices, and that is why they lose money when they hold on to failing stocks instead of selling them. They also fail to sell when the stock has reached a substantial level of growth because they are attached to seeing it grow forever. The elite traders are not attached to choices, but they buy and sell freely in a way that makes them more money than losing it. To be unattached is to be free. Having the relationships you want also comes from being enlightened. What a woman really wants is an enlightened man. He is a man who realizes his true being is a free spirit. He is free to express himself to her, and he is free from being affected by her. Being detached is the attractive quality that makes a man uncontrollable by a lady. Being undefined by external factors is what makes him self-assured. He is capable of loving fearlessly and loving without attachment. Enlightened loving is loving like a god. Those who are enlightened get what they want by benefiting from movement and changes, whether positive or negative. It no longer matters to them whether the stock goes up or down. They have strategies to make money either way. It no longer matters to them whether which person likes or don't like them, or when their partner is happy or unhappy with them. They simply allow themselves to enjoy all the happiness and positive energy they experience from whoever, whenever and however it comes. Enlightened manifestation of your desires is about getting the essence of what you want and not being attached to the form or channel. Those who are attached to form or channel will suffer more and more, and have less and less self-esteem. Whereas those who are not attached will be able to enjoy more and more of the things they like in life, and have more and more self-esteem. Those who have more self-esteem are more capable of having the success and relationships they want compared to the others. Freedom from attachment is also the reason why the rich get richer and the happy get happier, while the poor get poorer and the unhappy get unhappier. Having comes from being. When you are being detached, you are resonating with having. When you are being attached, you are resonating with not having. That is why it has always been said that you will finally be able to have what you want when you no longer want it. It does not mean you do not want it, but you are no longer in a state of wanting it. All that we want is peace and bliss. We think that when we have all the material things we want, we will have peace and bliss. But that is because we don't really know what peace and bliss are. It is peace and bliss that bring us everything else in life. Peace is total transcendence. Bliss is an untouchable happiness. When we transcend all illusions of the material world, we are in a state of peace where we can manifest anything we want. When we have no attachments, we have a happiness that cannot go. Enlightenment is the key to everything. The unenlightened may ask what enlightenment has got to do with making the money or getting the girl that you want. The answer is everything. When you are enlightened, you realize that it is not about getting this or that, but it is all about knowing what reality is, and who you really are. Then from that space of knowingness and beingness, you are free to create whatever you wish. You're free to play with illusions without being trapped by any, as it is all just a game. If you have greatly benefited from this article, then join as a member of Mind Reality now to access lots of the most life-changing information on planet Earth. This will be the best decision you will ever make in your life. True nature of money and its abundance. In reality, loving money with awareness is knowing that money is a form of energy that represents well-being and abundance. Well-being and abundance is rightfully belonging to all nature and creation, and you can have as much of it as you want. As long as every part of nature works in harmony with each other, everything is sustained and multiplied. Energy is neither created nor destroyed but changes from one form to another. All energy comes from the sun, which keeps changing form through nature. Sunlight is converted into starch and sugar by plants, which feed the animals, which help spread its seeds, which grows more plants, which feeds more animals, which feed humans, which build man-made constructions, which facilitate the work of society, which transforms civilization, which leads to inventions and discoveries, which promotes better commerce and diplomacy, which results in the entire earth cultivated and transformed by humans, which leads to the evolution of human consciousness. Money came into being sometime in civilization as a medium of energy exchange. At first, material things were exchanged directly by one party with another. But money enabled a person to give what he has to someone who does not have the exact thing that he wants in exchange for money, so that he can use it to obtain the exact thing that he wants from another person who has it. Money is an idea that increased the ease, freedom and speed of energy exchange in this world, which led to faster progress. Money evolved over time as the idea transformed into better versions of itself to better serve its purpose, which is to facilitate the ease, freedom and speed of energy exchange. At first, money was metal coins, which became dollar bills, which became checks, which became electronic credits, which became stocks and shares. As money evolved form, more of it could be exchanged at a higher speed. People made billions upon billions at a later time, faster than any other point in previous eras. Money is good, therefore we should love it and treat it well. People who love money with ignorance do not know the nature of the universe, and think that money is limited, therefore they have to obtain it for themselves, even to the detriment of others' well-being. They think that for them to have money, someone else cannot have it. It is either their well-being or that of another. In order to survive and have what they want, they would steal, cheat and rob it from another. The idea that economy is the allocation of scarce resources is only a half-truth. All resource is energy which is uncreated or destroyed but only changes form. Resources diminish when energy changes from a desired form to non-desired one. When plants are kept from the sun by people because they do not want to share them with others, they die without converting sunlight into energy or feeding anybody. Hoarding resources does no good for anybody and only makes it diminish or keeps it stagnant. Resources multiply when they are shared, because that is when energy can change into a more desirable form by those who are designed with the function to do so. Giving wool to a tailor enables him to make clothes that will keep people warm in winter and preserve life. Every one of us has a unique gift and passion in life that is our function to convert the energy that we receive into more desirable forms for the world. Economy really should be known as the allocation of abundant resources. Economy was defined as the allocation of scarce resources at a time when people had a scarce mentality. Therefore their consciousness created conditions of scarcity. Though all time, humanity has created their conditions by their thinking. When we change our definition of things, we change our experience of them. The more people there are with wealth consciousness, the better it is for the rest of us. We should enlighten as many people about the true nature of money to create more abundance. The more we provide others with the resources they need to give their best gifts to this world, the more we will experience happiness and abundance in life. Be generous and loving in your giving, knowing that the universe reflects to you your actions and intentions. When you bless others with the things and 13 energy to live the life that they desire, others will bless you with the things and energy you need to live the life you desire. The blessings do not have to come from the same people you bless. Your becoming wealthy makes the world wealthier, and the world becoming wealthier makes you become wealthy with a whole lot less effort. People in the past struggled for generations for things that we now have as the norm. Just as millions of people today live better than a few kings did in the past, there will be billions of people in the future that will live better than millionaires live today. The ever-present energy rearranges to produce higher quality of living when everyone shares and create. If you have greatly benefited from this article, then join as a member of Mind Reality now to access lots of the most life-changing information on planet Earth. This will be the best decision you will ever make in your life. Freeing yourself to receive abundance of money. One of the secrets of manifesting wealth is the acceptance of energy in the form of money for the energy that you put out. If you have resistance towards the idea of having to pay for something or towards others asking for payment, then you are limiting yourself from receiving money for anything that you do, since you think you should be providing it for free. This is a reason why many people remain poor financially when they could gain a lot monetarily for what they have to offer. They're limiting themselves. The truth is, everything is available for free. No one actually owns anything because it is all part of the universe. Ownership is an idea where people agree what belongs to who and what rights do they have regarding it. Ownership of anything is all based on agreement between consciousness. When there is conflict of consciousness, people fight and take from each other by force against the will. When there is harmony of consciousness, people willingly agree in sharing or exchanging ownership of things. The purpose of business is in the organization and promotion of things. When we buy a bottle of water, we are not paying for the bottle or the water because nature supplies the water and what the bottle is made up of. We are paying for the work done in obtaining the raw materials, putting them together, marketing it and handling it to us. All these takes work, and therefore those that do all the work for us so that we can experience such things without doing any of the work, receive money in exchange. Money is only an idea to represent how much value you have provided for others. That is why ill-gotten gains do not last, because the universe is always reflecting what you do. When you take money without providing real value, money will be taken from you without giving you real value. When you provide lots of value for others, you are meant to receive lots of money so that you can use it to receive value from others that is yours to rightfully experience. Then you are better able to provide even more value. People who have resistance towards giving money in exchange for the value that others provide also have resistance towards receiving money from others for the value they provide. That is because they see money as scarce and limited. They want to increase the abundance of others by giving to them, but if they take anything in return, they would cause a decrease. But that very perception is oxymoronic, because they are still seeing lack in the person even when they are trying to express abundance. All conditions in life are created by consciousness. You manifest exactly what you perceive. If you try to express abundance towards another while seeing lack in them, you will perpetuate conditions of lack in your experience with them. In order to experience abundance, you have to perceive abundance. If your world really was abundant, then you'd expect that others have more than enough to give to you for what you give to them, and you'd receive joyfully knowing that they'll keep having more themselves. That is why people who have wealth consciousness keep getting wealthier compared to the rest of the world. They have the freedom to charge for whatever they do according to the amount they believe it is worth, even when it is to people who try to tell them they are charging too much, or should not be charging at all. It is because wealth-conscious people perceive their reality as abundant and do not allow themselves to be affected by the perceptions of those that come from a limited consciousness. If everyone in this world was wealth-conscious and freely gave money to others and freely received it when it is appropriate, then everyone would be as wealthy as they could be. This is because energy would flow freely and hence everyone would be able to experience what they desire without holding back from paying for it, and others would not hold back from paying them for what they contribute. The economy would be much smoother and the progress of the entire world would advance extremely fast. The state of the health of a body depends on the circulation of blood. The blood transports nutrients to the cells and transports waste away from them. The better the circulation, the better the health will be. The state of the wealth of a nation depends on the flow of the economy. Money helps to move the things that 15 we want to us, and helps to move what we have to offer to others. Both health and wealth are really different forms of the same thing called well-being, which depends on free flowing of energy. Stop holding back paying for something you know will contribute to your progress. The more unlimited you become, the faster you will achieve everything you desire in life. Stop holding back offering your value for payment, because when you make others pay for what you offer, you are allowing them to express abundance as well. You are perceiving them as having the money to pay and also the willingness to give it to you. You are saying that you are worth giving money to and others have money to give. Since the flow of money is the flow of value, you should facilitate as much flow as possible in order to facilitate as much flow of value. Be flexible in your pricing of things in both directions. Set your price at a level where it is able to make the best amount of sales for the best amount of profits so that you and others would gain the best. If you underprice or overprice, you are undervaluing yourself and others. Because you are saying that you are not worth it or others are not good enough for what you are offering. Have a wealth consciousness by believing there is plenty of money to go around, because there really is. The world is awash in money. It is like Niagara Falls. It is flowing for everyone, but most of you are showing up with teaspoons. If you saw the world from a perspective of abundance, you would see that others have abundance of money to give to you and never have lesser for themselves. You would be willing to take as much as you desire freely, and by doing so, you free others to take more for themselves. If you have greatly benefited from this article, then join as a member of Mind Reality now to access lots of the most life-changing information on planet Earth. This will be the best decision you will ever make in your life. Making money through sharing of spiritual gifts. One of the greatest fallacies in this world about spirituality is the negative idea towards making money from it. There are people who think that those who provide spiritual value or service to others should do so for free. They associate money as a thing of the world, and shouldn't be mixed by the higher things. This kind of mentality is exactly what causes the topsy-turvy state of the world and humanity's progress. Even those who claim enlightenment from materialism are actually unenlightened about the truth. If people weren't allowed to receive money for spiritual healings and teachings, then this would mean that they would need to get work doing something non-spiritual. This would mean that they spent a lot less time doing spiritual work and practice, which would mean that they may well know less about spiritual matters and would probably have less time to teach also. This would end up meaning that their overall spiritual contribution to the world could well be a whole lot less. How could this be a good thing? It is an irony that those who provide the lowest form of value in this world get to make the most amount of money, while those who provide the highest form of value get to make the least amount of money. The steel magnate, the oil baron, the real estate tycoon reap the riches of society. But the mystic, the spiritual master, the teacher of enlightenment seems to forfeit attaining the wealth that they so deserve. In this plane, many things are bottom up. It is no wonder that humanity's progress has been slow. The most valuable thing should be given in exchange for the highest price. Enlightenment is the most valuable thing of all. But the problem is that most spiritual masters are not charging for what they're worth. That is why they don't gain the power and influence that material wealth can bring them. It is those dealing with the lowest value items in the universe, such as natural resources, that gain the greatest power and influence through attainment of huge material wealth. Enlightenment is offered for nothing. Since spirituality is not commonly sold, most people do not go for it. People perceive that when something doesn't cost much money, it doesn't have much value. They would often spend their money on frivolous items that are sold for high prices and marketed intensely to them. All the while they're not realizing that the greatest thing to buy is truth and wisdom. The best things in life are usually offered for little or for free. The trouble is people often walk by those very things in pursuit of other useless stuff. Natural resources are the least valuable things on earth because they are provided by nature in abundance. Intelligence and spirituality are the most valuable things that humanity can have. The more intelligent and spiritual humans become, the more efficiently and effectively they can extract and utilize natural resources. When humans lack intelligence and spirituality, they waste resources or use them unwisely and therefore create conditions of scarcity. This makes it even harder to progress spirituality. When humans suffer from lack in the lower hierarchy of needs, they tend to focus more on fulfilling those needs and neglect higher ones. The very irony is that it is the fulfilling of higher needs that take care of all other needs. The highest need of all is spiritual intelligence. It is the only true need there is. When you have wisdom, insight and awareness, you can create conditions of abundance, fulfillment and happiness. When you lack spiritual intelligence, you can never truly solve all your lower problems. All it takes is a single shift in mindset to move from a position of powerlessness to a position of true power. The line that separates the elite from the suffering masses is very sharp. On one side, you are forever undergoing endless cycles of trying to break free from debt, making the life you desire and finding the happiness that never seems to come. On the other side, you attain instant fulfillment of your true purpose and attain everything you truly desire very quickly. Yet that shift is most difficult for so many. Those who presume enlightenment from materialism by having a negative idea towards making money from spiritual work are still very much unenlightened actually. The more enlightened ones realize that money is only a tool in this world, and is meant to be used to the fullest in the work of spirituality. When 17 they market spiritual products and services intensely and charge premium prices for them. They increase people's perception of such things, and obtain great financial rewards from providing such value. These wiser spiritual masters are then able to use their great spiritual and financial wealth to do even greater good in this world than all other spiritual masters and wealthy businessmen put together. Those who provide the best of their spiritual gifts and charge the best prices for them are the ones we should seek to learn and benefit from the most. It is because they have the higher consciousness to do what most people are not doing. They have the ultimate combination of higher and lower things in this world. The most unlimited ones have the greatest power, freedom and wealth in this world. The more unlimited you want to be, the more unlimited your mind must become. The more unlimited you are in paying for spiritual things, the more of such things you can attain. The more unlimited you are in charging for your spiritual work, the more you will be able to give of those very same works. The ultimate enlightenment is to overcome all limitations that get in the way of being, doing and having all that we truly want. If you have greatly benefited from this article, then join as a member of Mind Reality now to access lots of the most life-changing information on planet Earth. This will be the best decision you will ever make in your life. True wealth is created through value exchange. When you can have faith in the personal aspect of God, it is easier for you to have faith in the universal aspect. It takes more faith to believe that God as a person exists and how that person is like, than to believe in the true nature and the laws of the universe. God as a person always works according to his universal laws. Both the universal and personal aspect of God are one and never contradict each other in the ultimate sense. This is also the case in the area of how God gives you wealth and abundance. The best way that God can bless you with true wealth is through the increase that is gained from the work of your hands. People think that just because God gives you wealth, you can simply sit and do nothing and wait for him to pour it onto you from thin air. That is ignorance, and for that reason many are poor and in need. When God blesses you with prosperity, he does it by causing the work of your hands to prosper so that it bears much fruit. God brings the increase through the labor of each person. God's law of abundance works through sowing and reaping. This is a system of value exchange. In order to receive, you must first give of what you already have. You give your ear to listen and receive wisdom. You give your attention to receive divine guidance. You give your money as a seed to receive a harvest in the form of a multiplied return. There is always something you give first that you already have in order to receive much more in return. This is how all things grow and increase through exchanging. When you sell a product or a service, you are providing a value exchange. The more you sell, the more value you are exchanging. God blesses you to be a blessing. The more people buy the things that you offer, the more people that you are being a blessing to. God blesses you and blesses more people through you by blessing you with more people to sell to, or to sell more to people. Therefore, the best way to receive God's blessing is to be a blessing through service and expect God to bless your works. Value exchange is the way by which everybody experiences the increase of life together. The Bible says, "He that withholds scorn, the people shall curse him, but blessing shall be upon the head of him that sells it." It does not say give, but it says sell. If Joseph were to give corn during the time of famine, Egypt would run out of resources, and everybody would perish from the famine. But Joseph sold corn instead. Value exchange is how everybody increases life for each other. This is the true wise way of divinity. The science of getting rich is through the path of creating the increase of life for everyone together. If you seek to be rich, work on creating and transferring value to others in exchange for value that you desire to receive for them. True communication is never a one-way but a two-way thing. Wealth is a communication. True wealth is created when everybody gets rich together through value exchange. Even the sun provides energy for all life so that the universe does not contract and remove the sun's existence. God causes you to prosper by blessing all the work of your hand which you do. If a man does not work, he shall not eat. Even a system that has been set up for you to receive automatic income time and time again requires you to work in the beginning to create it. But work is not just for making a living, it is life itself. Work is primarily for creativity. Prosperity is continuously being created. It is a creative thing. One's world falls apart when he begins to lose his creative focus. To stop creating is to stop living. Everything is God, and therefore anything that lives as God. If it does not live as God, then it is death. All things that destroy are pure parasites, harmful viruses, and diseases. People who live like that are the scourge of humanity and deserve to be wiped out, for their existence does not contribute to humanity's growth but hinders it. To live as God is to be a giver, a creator. God constantly creates and gives. Creation is not a past thing, it is present one. All existence is constantly being created all times. One does not have to expect money to be given by God from the sky. One prospers best by giving the best of oneself and receiving the best from others in return. The best that is provided can be the best kind of product, the best kind of service, or the best kind of information. The best that is received can be the 19 best kind of money, the best kind of recognition, or the best kind of reciprocal action. Abundance is expressed through giving and experienced through receiving. You see the light which you shine. There's a scenario of heaven and hell where they are both rooms full of people having spoons with handles too long to feed themselves with. In the room of hell, the people are all starving and suffering. In the room of heaven, the people are well fed and at ease. Why are there two rooms with the same exact conditions, and yet very different outcomes? The reason is because, in the room of heaven, the people are all feeding one another with the spoons that they cannot feed themselves with. This is exchange. You can create a reality of heaven or a reality of hell on the earth that you live in. You can follow God's way and enjoy heaven, or you can don't follow God's way and suffer hell. God's way is the way of sowing and reaping. It is giving and receiving. It is value exchange. It is the true way of abundance. There is a portion of exchanging value directly with the same source, and a portion of giving to one place and receiving from another place. The act of giving through business and charity complement each other. If you have greatly benefited from this article, Then join as a member of Mind Reality now to access lots of the most life-changing information on planet Earth. This will be the best decision you will ever make in your life. Purchasing the best things in life for yourself. When you seek to manifest wealth and power, you must act in alignment with being abundant. Do you go about presenting the outward appearance of poverty and lesser quality? In all the things that you have to use now, or buy now, be sure to get the best. To seek that which is cheap is to express fear that you will become poor if you buy that which is good, and that which is sold at a fair price. You cannot afford to have the attitude of fear, of being afraid to get the best. You must have the abundant mindset. Do you not spend money just for show, but get that which is best for you to use and which looks best to you. If you do not have enough money to buy a whole set of best things, buy one of those things in the set and believe that you will be able to buy the rest later on. Wear the best and think of yourself as a person who wears the best. Do not form a mental picture of yourself as poorly or cheaply dressed. The best does not have to be the most expensive. But get that which is of great quality and not inferior. You do not have to save or economize by taking second-class food. Allow yourself to eat higher-class food if that is what you wish. Do not limit yourself by thinking that it isn't necessary to spend so much money on food. Don't think that you are saving for some possible emergency. If you're to enter abundance, you must get yourself out of the attitude of fear and caution. Trying to save for a rainy day is unnecessary caution. Those who save with the intent for rainy days often manifest those days to lose it all. It is better to be a beggar and spend your money like a king, than to be a king and spend your money like a beggar. Wealth isn't a measure of how much money you have, but it is the lifestyle you live. As long as you spend your money like a beggar, you will never command your environment like a king. Kingship does not go with the beggarly attitude of mind, nor with beggarly practices. Have the kingly or queenly attitude. Wear the best and eat the best. Money is power and your use of money is use of power. Do not buy cheap things for your home. It is better to have a few good pieces of furniture or gadgets than to have many cheap and low-quality ones. Be selective. Try to get the best of the things that are more necessary and useful first. Get the best and have faith that you will be able to get all you need. If you wear the best, eat the best and have the best things at home, it puts you in the best mental attitude. You'll see yourself as being the best and having the best, and the best in you will be manifested. If you wear cheap clothes, eat cheap foods and surround yourself with cheap things thinking that you are saving money, you will put yourself in the mental attitude of being cheap and inferior. The cheap and inferior within you will be manifested, and you will never do your best. You will be incapable of exerting your whole power, and by the law of attraction, cheap and inferior things will move towards you. Get the best of everything and get rid of the feeling that you're being extravagant. The best is never too good. You must get rid of the idea that you must make do with certain things when you would like to have better things. You must get rid of the idea that it is a necessary thing to practice self-denial, in the sense of going without what you need for the living of a complete life. If you think you have to give up spending money on one good thing in order to use it on something else, you will forever be creating the scenario of having to sacrifice. Keep spending money on what is good now and have faith to spend more. Your thoughts have a great deal to do with your prosperity, and sometimes the way to break a pattern is to spend money. There have been times when everything was going badly for someone and that person goes out and buys something expensive, right in the midst of the worst downfall. They got such a lift from possessing that thing that their whole mind went up. And the first thing you know, the money was flowing again. Spend money when you think you can't spend any more. Challenge your reality. You have to release something from yourself because you're suffering from mental stagnation. That's the whole secret of prosperity. That's why a woman can go out and buy a new dress. She can get herself an expensive jewel sometimes. The lift from that and the release of the money will start the supply coming 21 again. The way to keep money flowing into your life is to keep yourself in flow. You can cut down from spending on what is truly unnecessary. But never cut down on spend on that which is good. The reason prosperity doesn't flow into people's worlds is because they have stopped giving. It doesn't matter how much water is in a pipe. You can have just a trickle of water, but if there is nothing to stop it, you can get that water to flow. Never stop giving to that which brings you joy and spiritual nourishment. Give and it shall be given to you. Give and receive with joy. Spend your money cheerfully and receive with joy the best clothes, the best food and the best things that contribute to enriching your reality. You have to understand how to work with the laws of abundance. You not only work with them through prayer and right thinking but also by making sure that the law of stagnation does not function in your world to dam up your supply. This is why some of the great multimillionaires have taken tremendous risks and they have sometimes come out right on top. It's not a matter of luck. It's a matter of using the law. The way to create ever-increasing abundance in life is through abundant mindset and lifestyle. If you have greatly benefited from this article, then join as a member of Mind Reality now to access lots of the most life-changing information on planet Earth. This will be the best decision you will ever make in your life. Raise group consciousness to benefit yourself. The collective consciousness is very influential on your own wealth and happiness. Your extent of wealth and happiness is company created by yourself and everyone else. You are more likely to experience desirable events and opportunities if the people around you are of suitable consciousness. Therefore it is always in your favor to raise the consciousness of people you interact with in order to create a better shared reality for yourself and those that are in your life. Things get better when you get better. Things get worse when you get worse. The world is all within you. You are at cause over everything that happens in your life whether you are conscious of it or not. Everyone else is also at cause in their world, which means groups of people are collectively at cause over their collective world. The prosperity of a nation, corporation and family is determined by the collective consciousness of the people. Wars and even natural disasters are influenced by it as well. You will get fastest results if you work with and associate with people who have wealth consciousness. That means you should offer to help improve the wealth consciousness of people around you. Your network of people is your access to resources. Resources multiply when they are shared because you increase the value of the people you relate with. In order to really get ahead, you have to cause others around you to advance as well. When you cause others to rise, you will rise as well. Since you know that collective consciousness affects the results that you get in your life, why would you choose to be passive when others are harming each other? You will eventually get affected in a negative manner, therefore you should not watch from the sidelines until the share of returns hits you. To the extent that you allow other people's choices and consciousness to override your own, is the extent that you will share in their consequences. I don't care does not exclude you. Think of yourself as a being and the world around you as an extension of your being. We are all one body and one mind. When one part of the body is affected, all parts of the body are affected. When one part of the mind is affected, all parts of the mind is affected. Take care of every part of your mind and body. We must account for the health of the whole body. If the body dies, we go down with it, which does not serve our own needs. We are all really one big organism. As important as it is to take care of the needs of others, it is also important to take care of your own needs. It is not wise to sacrifice your own well-being unnecessarily in your service for others. It is even worse to convince many others to do the same. When you put yourself in a place of poverty and lack, sooner or later even the ones that you benefited will become affected by your state of suffering as well. Imagine the heart sacrificing itself to save the brain. It is useless and stupid. Do your best to help the rest, but take good care of yourself as well. Our own well-being plays a big part in our ability to serve. If we don't thrive as individuals, we aren't much good to anyone else. When you raise your level of well-being, you raise your ability to serve. Allow yourself to receive payment so that you can serve and influence even more. Love others and love yourself. Both the individual cell and all other cells must be taken care of in order for all to experience the highest level of well-being. Realize that your good and the good of everyone around you are inseparably linked. Your own good and the good of the whole body is the same good. Make decisions that would improve your long-term well-being and that of the whole body simultaneously. The cell that serves as a role model of taking into account the good of all will lead all other cells into causing the whole body to thrive optimally in every way. We are the universe. I am all of you. We are all one, therefore we should think for the self of all. The advancement of just one individual in society causes a series of advancements of varying degrees for all others in society. Even raising the consciousness of a few people is enough, but when you help raise the consciousness of as many people as you can, you will shift the universe dramatically. Share knowledge and materials that can help others build wealth consciousness in themselves. By raising their consciousness, they will create their reality better, which will affect your own reality better. The good or bad that is in your extended body affects you to the degree it is away from you. There is no way we can effectively take care of others further away from us when we are hindered by the well-being of those nearer to us. Therefore it is more important that we focus more on raising the consciousness and benefiting those who are dearer and more important to us personally. The order of importance when it comes to taking care of well-being should be marriage, family, society, country and the world. Your work is not your own, but it is the work of the universe or God. All our work are the same because we are all here to help each other evolve and transform into better versions of ourselves. If you want to raise your quality of life to the next level, help to raise the consciousness of those around you. When the people around you become better because you got better people to relate with. This world will become a better place for all of us when we all become better together. If you have greatly benefited from this article, then join as a member of Mind Reality now to access lots of the most life-changing information on planet Earth. This will be the best decision you will ever make in your life. Life manifests by varying degrees of intelligence. Life is manifested by varying degrees of intelligence. The more intelligent something is, the more life and freedom it has. Inanimate or mineral life represents the lower forms of intelligence, while a higher degree of intelligence can be recognized in plant life. When you look at a flower, do you consider it beautiful? It is a greater expression of the infinite intelligence which is expressing itself as beauty, form, color and above all, joy. When more life is manifested, the more intelligence and joy there is. In the animal kingdom, you can recognize a quality of life and intelligence that is greatly advanced than that manifested in the flower. When there is greater intelligence, there is greater range of mental, emotional and physical phenomena capable of being experienced by the life form. The highest expression of intelligence and life is human, as it has the power of free will and choice. The inanimate, plant, animal and human are expressions of the one universal life, differing only in varying degrees of intelligence. You express a very high degree of intelligence in desiring to understand the laws of life. When you discover some part of these laws, you'll ascend the scale of intelligence as you make use of your knowledge. A person who perseveres through difficulties and emerges successful, manifests higher form of intelligence than the one who gives up and lives a miserable existence. Intelligence is present in all human beings, but it can only increase by being used. A developed will is the tool for manifesting intelligence. The greater your intelligence, the more easily you can call into action the highest order of creative energy. The more highly you develop your intelligence through self-education, the more you will find your old limited ideas of what you are not, cannot be, do, or have, subliminally fading away. By using your intelligence and resting upon it to guide you towards ultimate reality of all, you will come to recognize that you are as much a part of the very highest intelligence as a drop of water in a part of the ocean. Degrees of intelligence prove man's place in the universe. Human life is the highest form of intelligence in the physical dimension, which is why man is the apex of life. But varying degrees of intelligence also results in varying positions of man in society. The ones with higher intelligence are in positions of power, leadership and influence. In warfare, you never see the general putting his life at the front. It is usually the lower masses of soldiers sacrificing themselves in the fray. This is the natural order of things. Higher intelligence and higher life are meant to be preserved and sustained usually by lower life. Plants absorb minerals from the soil while they themselves are food for animal life. Animals are killed and eaten by human beings. People who are enlightened about the divine order of the universe would understand that this is perfectly all right. Only the half-enlightened would fight against the natural order. In humanity, the less intelligent are meant to serve the more intelligent, whether be it in business or politics. If you want to rise in position and power, you must rise in intelligence and wisdom. It is not fitting for a fool to be a prince. Many people want material abundance, success and power in life without first acquiring the character qualities that qualify them for such things. That is why those who chase the outer things without building on the inner qualities end up with neither part in their lives. If you want success, you must have the qualities of success. If you want wealth, you must be wealth. Being leads to having. A lower degree of intelligence is one that is unable to recognize itself as being one of the highest forms of life. The highest degree of intelligence is that form of life which is able to recognize itself as related to all existing intelligence. When you are convinced that every physical circumstances or thing has its origin in corresponding activities of the mind, you are able to conquer adversity in any form, because you know you can always control your thoughts. You must always be willing to do your own thinking. You are not a victim, you are a part of the universe. Those with victim mentality express lower level of intelligence and life. Plants have no choice in being eaten by animals, and animals have no choice in 25 being eaten by humans. Less intelligent humans have no choice in being controlled by adverse circumstances and other humans. The more you know how your thoughts create reality, the more of a conscious and powerful creator of your reality you become. One must choose to have a choice, to have a choice. We inherit a certain amount of our thoughts just as we inherit a certain amount of physical traits. We inherit those qualities from the DNA and collective consciousness of our ancestral link. If you want greater freedom and life, you must think for yourself, and in your own way, irrespective of what your ancestors thought, even though some of them might have brought desired results. This is to exercise intelligence and free will. It is to be a leader instead of a follower, and a creator of your reality instead of a victim. Infinite intelligence expresses itself as all things but most of all as joy. We are all here to experience the joy of living. Joy is the happiness of love. The more intelligence you have, the more freedom, power and joyful state of life you would experience. One's efforts therefore should be wholly directed to the attainment of a higher degree of intelligence, rather than to the acquiring of material things. When you increase in intelligence, you can get all you want in greater quality and quantity through better ways. If you have greatly benefited from this article, then join as a member of Mind Reality now to access lots of the most life-changing information on planet Earth. This will be the best decision you will ever make in your life. Second last action step to unlimited abundance. Hold the thought of absolute abundance and that feeling of gratitude while you give this book to one person. Go ahead, it's an e-book. All you have to do is email it, print it out, make copies or whatever you have to do, just do it. There is not really much physical labor involved. It doesn't matter who you give it to, just give it away to someone, anyone, do it now. Please take this simple step. Take this small step and give this book to someone right now. Act on faith and on trust, while you hold on to the thought and feeling of complete abundance and gratitude. Most likely someone gave you this book and they took action. Take the first step to living a richer, more prosperous, healthier and fuller life. The more people you give this book to now, the better it is for you. Did you do it? Did you take the action that will change your life right now? If you did, then I would like to congratulate you on becoming wealthier. You have taken the first step, and you have continued the spread of true wealth. You have made the commitment, the seal of the covenant that will ensure you are well on your way to being wealthy or are already wealthy. Final action step to unlimited abundance. The very reason why I created this free ebook with some of my articles is to give a preview of the immense quality and quantity information on Mind Reality. What you get from this ebook is only the tip of the iceberg. The amount of super high quality information found in Mind Reality is more than enough to fill many books, not of the ordinary standard, but the legendary kind. If there was just one membership site in the world you should join, this would be it. Discover the greatest secrets of the mind and reality that will get you anything you desire, almost like magic. If you want to finally experience the complete manifestation of all the miracles, success, wealth, health, love and happiness that you have always dreamed of, then register as member of Mind Reality now. You have permission to pass this ebook to everyone you know today. They will greatly thank you for it. Best regards. Enoch Dan, creator of Mind Reality. Copyright Mind Reality. Go here now to discover how to become a Mind Reality member. http://www.mindreality.com